Hello, I have been a software engineer for 10 years and I spent a lot of time learning Java and TypeScript. I have the opportunity to create a complex system that I really enjoy, but I realized that there is something that I didn't fully understand, and that is how the cloud abstraction really works. When I talk about the cloud abstraction, I mean the tools, the platform that keep the complexity of the infrastructure, so that developers can only focus on the writing code. That obviously makes the things easier, but also hit what is really happening underneath. While exploring this topic, I came across the course of KubeCraft. KubeCraft is a course designed to build a career on DevOps, designed by Misha. Misha is a content creator, cloud native engineer with 80,000 of followers on YouTube and Microsoft MVP. So you could think that there is a good expectation that what will be the expected of the course. With that background, I expected a good quality of the course of KubeCraft, right? So I decided to explore in this course. Not because I want to change my career to DevOps. It's not for that. Actually, it's for I want to remove the cloud abstraction and rely on to gain technical independence with your own server, right? And in this video, I will share my honest review of whether if it is worth it or not. Okay, maybe if you are a software developer and you usually do in interviews, you could know that the common advice is to create LeetCode marathons, system designs, UML diagrams, right? But in this case, when we are talking about DevOps, in the case of the course, is focused to create directly infrastructure with your own server. You're trying to create a home labs. So that is maybe the good news or a good advantage to take this course because it is not talking about theoretical. Directly to go to the terminal, open the Linux. Very easier to learn while you are doing something in the code, right? Okay, so if talking about if the course is worthy, the first thing that will have the opportunity to create your own home lab. I mean, in my case, for example, I bought a mini PC, right? And I built my own home lab using Linux. And thanks for the philosophy of the KubeCraft, obviously, there is a strong um, advice to have to start using Linux, to start to use a terminal, to start to learn what is the permission of the file system, and that isn't a good advisor because when you are working with cloud, it's very common to use Ubuntu, and it's a good advisor to if you are be comfortable to manage these file systems and opens process in the terminal. Okay, and that is only talking about the easier part because actually Misha introduced to you to install Arch Linux and even encrypt it. So that for the philosophy of the Misha, that is a unique way to learn how it's created Linux, right? And the interesting part maybe is when we're talking about the Kubernetes, okay, initially it will be learn how to deploy it or use Kubernetes using a light version of Kubernetes, right? But finally, if you want to have the advanced or the fully experience of KubeCraft, is installed Talos Linux. Talos Linux is a distribution of Linux that only have a Kubernetes, and the unique way to communicate with this distribution is using APIs. So it's very secure. Even you can install Cilium because in the course introduced to you to do it. Cilium, external DNS. So yeah, it's a roadmap to finally to have a strong knowledge about the infrastructure. And I think that in my case, actually, it's in a rabbit hole because I feel that it's really infinite, right? And in my case, that I am a software engineer and I don't want to changing my career to DevOps, obviously there is a moment that I have to say that okay, here I don't will need to learn things like that, right? So for that reason, I decided to only learn the modules that maybe could be useful for me. That usually use it in my everyday average day, like a software developer, right? That's meaning to learn how it's creating a multi-state container with performance, with cache, right? With security, how it's working Kubernetes and how you can create manifests of them, how you can install multiple packages using Helm releases, how you can create your own Helm Helm package, right? How you can deploy it with GitHub Actions, pull them in your own service with Flux CD, right? So that part of the course, obviously, it will be useful and worthy for you if you want to create your own end-to-end infrastructure and software application, deploy it in your machine, right? So that maybe could be useful. So something that I advise to you if you are a software developer before to taking this kind of course that is focused to DevOps is that maybe if you can create your own system, a complex system that is using a complex infrastructure. Because when you finally completed a course of DevOps or the infrastructure, you will have the opportunity to deploy it in your own server that could be on a mini PC or on a laptop, right? For example, in my case, I decided to create an assistant distribution of multiple microservices. In this case, 4 microservices, an API gateway, our core content, a certification server, and actually an AI server that handled Open Router. Deploy it on a server with Kubernetes using Kafka, Redis, and finally all they have to be synchronized. So I have to learn more, even if only just following the tutorials of the DevOps course. So the idea is that take the opportunity to create something for you and finally support you in a community of DevOps to finally deploy it in your own system. Now, many people deciding to join to KubeCraft because want to start a career like a DevOps. In this case, they need to learn how is pass interviews or how you can create your personal brand. In that case, I can highlight the job of Sami. Sami is the co-founder of KubeCraft, and he provides several tools and ideas that maybe you can achieve in your habits or in your tools that you could have in your own system, right? To pass interviews, create a LinkedIn branding, to create your social networking of the industry. Actually, KubeCraft provides a list of the LinkedIn connection of the community that maybe you can connect with them, right? And that will generate more opportunity to meet with more people. So that is something an advantage that if you take this kind of course because it will provide a list of networking advice on like how you can create your personal branding that actually I implement in my own system, and I happy to have that actually. If I was a junior developer, actually, this kind of advisor is a good knowledge. I want to be objective. There are a few things that maybe you have to know. And the first thing that in my case, like an software developer, I prefer to work with Java and TypeScript. And in this course, the focus it was Python. But it's only a personal preference because in my case, I prefer to work with Java. So there were multiple modules that I didn't need to study because I don't want to move to Python, but it's my own decision. Now it's not a longer just a tutorial hub. Actually, course is only for the people that want to invest in the DevOps engineer career because it costs $4,800 per year. So you have to know that if you really don't want to fight with multiple stack, if you are doing your own career like an DevOps, obviously you can do it alone, but it could take more time, right? Because if you want to have a community and you want to have a roadmap, and actually if you are stuck in some place and you need someone that maybe help Misha in the community, I see that always is answer the post, right? So depend of you. And that's all. And thank you for watching this video. And my next video, I want to talking about RPIT System Design course. It's a good course that I want to learn. I want to leave my honestly review here and subscribe to my channel if you like this kind of videos. Thank you.